Hi everyone, this is Team 6. My name is Michelle, and today we'll present the topic of immersed tunnel and floating bridge. Starting with the immersed tunnels, the tunnel elements will be produced in a factory near the project location. The animation you see on the screen shows the production site. It includes halls where the reinforced modulars will be prepared, as well as a production line for concrete casting, ducts, and a working harbor. My friend Chi will walk you through the construction details.
Production will take place in a continuous process in which 9 identical segments will be joined together to create a complete element. All reinforcement work will undergo extensive quality controls before moving to the next station. The rebar cage will be skidded to the assemble area supported by both the lifting table and the launch scaffolding system. To prepare transport, watertight bulkheads are mounted. After flowing a trussed pontoon and closing all gates, the basin will be filled out. After aligning the water level, the gate will be removed. Then, the stand element will be tugged out underneath 2 immersion pontoons.
So during the construction of the tunnel's elements, dredging will be carried out by specialized dredges to ensure a precise and smooth base in the tunnel trench. Dredging is being selected to minimize sediment spill and to limit the impact on the surroundings and the environment. Debris material will be transported on special barges to designated landfill areas. After preparing the site, tunnel elements will be towed out to the project location where it will be immersed into its final position. When the element is positioned directly above the area will be immersed, it will be held in position by cables attached to temporary anchors in the seabed. It will then be immersed in a trench that has been excavated in advance while the elements were being constructed in the factory we showed in the beginning. As you can see on the screen, the tunnel element will be lowered onto a gravel bed foundation that has been previously laid in the tunnel trench. Ballast tanks have been fitted to the element are gradually filled with water to sink it. As the element slowly sinks, its movement are controlled by what is called mooring wires. After that, both sides of the element will be filled with sand to keep it in position. And finally, a protective layer of stone will be placed on top to protect the tunnel's element.
Hi, I'm Najim Arfin, and the next topic that we're going to be discussing is floating bridges. Now, these are very unusual structures, as only 20 of them exist across the world, and their design varies greatly based on location and purpose. Early pontoon bridges were built during times of war to allow movement of weapons and soldiers, with civilizations as early as the Greeks, Romans, and Mongols all using their own versions of pontoons. In today's age, they are massive structures of steel and concrete which can support the immense weight of commercial and commuter traffic, and they also prove to be far more effective than traditional bridges, but are unfeasible in areas with strong winds or waves. Pontoon bridges essentially utilize the concept of buoyancy, as the hollow pontoons support weight equivalent to the water they displace, which means that the larger the pontoon, the more traffic it could potentially support. Now, the bridges are either supported by continuous or separate pontoons, which means that it could either be one large stretch or multiple smaller pontoons to support the bridge. Pontoons are usually built near the construction site and towed into place by barges and are then anchored to keep them into place, whereas the support elements and deck are then added on top. To ensure the stability of the bridge, a combination of anchors and mooring lines are used. The anchors weigh a significant amount and allow the bridge to flex under stress without breaking. There are 3 types of anchors that exist, notably the gravity, fluke, and drill shaft anchors. Now, another problem during construction of floating bridges is shorelines, which often cause problems due to jagged terrain and elevation, and engineers must design the bridge accordingly to ensure the safety of vehicles.
And now Jin Hao will discuss submerged floating tunnels.
In the end, we are talking about a concept tunnel, which is a submerging floating tunnel. Why we need to combine the floating bridge and the immersing tunnels is because the fuel can be up a mile deep. so it's not practical to build a bridge over the waterway or the tunnel underneath. And the floating tunnel will not disturb any water traffic, and it's also good to deal with the seismic disturbances and the weather events. The structure performance is independent of the lungs.